What up, BBT fam? Robert H here. Gonna do a recap on 3 trades I took and then talk about reversals because I noticed a lot of people in the chat have been trying to take reversals lately, so I just want to give my 2 cents on that. First trade was IBM. I went in on the bearish engulfing crack, so when this candle engulfed, I went short and then I got squeezed. So you can see I went short when it lost the 9. And then I got squeezed in the way up, stopped out. It's very similar to what happened to me on Twitter from last week, I believe, right? I went short when it engulfed and then I got stopped out. And very similar to Twitter, I jumped right back in as soon as on the next candle. So a little small 30-cent loss, jumped right back in. What I'm noticing on these bearish engulfing cracks is that if it fails the first time you get stopped out, not a big deal, because what we're seeing here, this is a triangle. I don't know if you guys have seen this strategy, right? It's like a descending wedge triangle type of maneuver here. So when I saw that it was doing that and losing the 9 again, I came right back in, shorted it here, and then boom, then we cracked. Took profit at VWAP, this moving average at this level 149, then at this moving average, and then here I was telling Paul S, because Paul S was in the same trade as me. Me and Paul S were always taking the same trades. It's pretty funny. I was telling him, oh, I wish I was looking away, because right when it spiked on that new 5-minute high, I was all out, and I missed the run to the low of the day. Look at this dump here. Let's take a look, a little zoom out here. Look at this dump at right when I got out, and that's unfortunate. But Paul was on board for the ride, so good job, Paul. And that's one of the reasons I like the bearish engulfing crack, is because the risk to reward is pretty good, right? This is from the first trade. This was my risk here, and then the reward is you try to get to the low of the day, but you just take profit along the way, because you never know. These things can always bounce back and go the other direction, right? That's why I'm just trying to scale out whenever we hit levels. But as you can see, this one was a pretty good specimen of the bearish engulfing crack, because it went to the low day and beyond. Anyways, that's my IBM trade. Next trade is AA. So I took it on a reversal here. I saw that it was so it bled at the open here. Nice opening range breakdown. I think Jason T caught this this move down here. It was a good trade. Anyways, it was doing like a double bottom here, and then it made a new 5-minute high. I missed that entry here because as I was watching the 15-minute chart, and on the 15-minute chart, it was still forming this during this, I guess, this window here. It was still forming it. So what I did, I waited for this to close and then make sure that we're not making a new low in the 15, and this was confirmed on the 5, right? We're kind of just doing higher lows, and then as soon as it broke out here, that's when I went long, and I caught a little pop here, a little 30-40 cent pop. Took some off. I was hoping to get to VWAP, and it kind of stalled here, going sideways, and then I saw that it probably wasn't going to make it, so I just took some off, and then finally the rest at break even before it dumped. Huge dump. So yeah, that's one thing I just wanted to mention for people in the chat trying to take reversals. On the 5-minute chart, it's not always sufficient, right? When you see a hammer or a doji, really for these big time reversals, for something that's 5-6 candles in a row, you want to see at least some confirmation on the 15 as well, right? Because other traders are looking at that, and for moves, for larger scale moves, big picture moves, other traders are looking at 15, right? And this is just one example. So here's another example, ABBV. This was on the 5-minute chart. This was a signal, right? Bearish, bullish candle here, double bottom, and then you go along on the new 5-minute high. But if you were looking at the 15, you probably would have seen the same thing here, right? This entry roughly coincides with this entry, and then you catch the momentum the other way. So how's that looking right now? Yeah, that's looking pretty good, right? That's a pretty solid reversal here, all the way up to VWAP and beyond. So anyways, yeah, that's just a tip. It's not my own, actually. Adventure Dog LA, he recommended it because he saw me taking more and more reversals, and he just said, take a look at the 15. And I went back on my journal. I looked at all the reversals I took on the 5, and I compared it to the 15. And more often than not, the ones that worked out were confirmed by the larger picture. So yeah, that's just something to look out for. Don't try to take every single reversal, because I find the probability of them working out is rather low. It's just rewarding, right, when you're going against the trend, and it's like kind of the underdog move. You catch the bottom, and it's just a sense of satisfaction. But for myself, I'm finding my accuracy is kind of less than 50-50. So the risk to reward really has to be good for it to work out in the long term. Anyways, that's my recap, and thanks for watching.